Nation, Harry here, and this is a special treat this month with esteemed contributor Alex Fields from ITProMinter.com and Success Computer Consulting in Minneapolis. Did I get that right? Is that your day job?
Yep.
All right. Well, sir, spring is in the air, so hoping that it starts to warm up there in Minnesota and we avoid flooding. But more importantly, last time we talked about you were revising your guide. You have now revised it. So the Microsoft 365 Business Migration and Configuration Guide, you're bringing it in at 300 pages. Folks, I have the link in the blog down below for you to go check it out and see if the shoe fits. Alex, quickly, what were the revisions? What's the story? What's going on?
Yeah, well, the previous version actually had a completely different title because I hadn't covered really the migration aspect of it and how to move from point A to point B. A lot of it was, this is the things that are possible using this new subscription in the cloud, and we'll take a closer look at identity, devices, data, and what we can do to protect your information, protect your devices, protect your identities. And it was really good information and everything, but the number one question I had from readers who got their hands on it was like, oh, this sounds really great, and I really want to use this, but right now all my data is on premises, and how can I move that up into the cloud and so forth? And while email migrations are pretty well understood, I think from they've just been around for a lot longer. People have been doing it a lot longer, but I think the data migration piece really confuses people. So I went into quite a bit of detail on that. And then we talked a little bit about why devices are such an important part of your management strategy and your migration strategy, really. So
yeah. And how many books? How many books have you written, sir? I just made that question up, and then I have a real question. But how many books have you written?
That's a good question. I think I've kind of lost a little bit of track. I mean, it's under a dozen, so it's not, it's not crazy, but yeah, it's multiple.
Oh, but still, because I always liken, having written some books myself, I always liken it to 9 months was my typical duration, and that would have been I gave birth to a child. So, sir, you could consider yourself to be the father of 12 children, perhaps.
Right.
How about them apples? But yeah, hey,
right.
What happened with the page count? Because the readers and viewers will recall we've reviewed your previous effort. They've had the opportunity to download and read your previous effort. Did you go from like 200 to 300 pages on this one? What's the story?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a lot more, but really a lot of that is just more screenshots and stuff for more detail, because people really like that. Like video is another thing that's fairly popular right now, and some people really prefer to consume and learn that way, and that's great. There's definitely assets out there for people that they can find, but I'm more of a writer, and there's a lot of people who still consume information in that way, and the screenshots are just such a necessary part, obviously. And so I think that added a lot of the content. And then, like I said, I still kept a lot of the description as far as like the second half of the guide is basically just about managing the different security features and stuff and data features that you have access to. But some of the content is because we added detail about migration. So it's a little bit of both, but it's not as bad as it sounds just because there is so many screenshots.
Yeah, cool. And last question for this month. Again, being an author, recognizing we've all kind of shifted to the digital format, do you on occasion have what I would call maybe a little sprint where you go back in periodically and update screenshots if in fact the cloud-based UI has changed? Because that has consistently been one of my challenges as a modern author.
Yeah, it is rather challenging, and I'm still learning tips and just little ways to try to get better at that. But yes, I update them regularly, and so I aim for once a quarter. On the major guides that publish, which is the best practices list for Microsoft 365, and then this guide, of course. But some of the smaller little ebooks and stuff that I put out for free and so forth, those aren't really updated very frequently. But yeah, anything that features a lot of screenshots, that can be really difficult because it does change so fast, and so they really keep us busy. But on the other hand, because of the digital era we're in, it's also not as long of a publishing process. So I send it out for like one check to an editor for stuff, and then I publish it myself, and I don't have to wait, for a long time or anything for it to go to press. So it can be a little bit faster cycle too. So there's a give and take to it.
Yep, that's the upside. Well, sir, enjoy the month of March. We'll catch you, and by golly, the next time we talk, it'll actually be Q2, second fiscal quarter of 2020. So enjoy the next several weeks. We'll talk to you soon, Alex.
You too.
All right.